Hello, welcome to TD's Pokemon Lair. I'm TD and this is Lair. Today we'll be unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards I sent to Professional Sports Authenticator over a year ago. I got them back. They've shipped them to you in these nice little boxes, professionally packaged so they arrive nice, safely and sound. Let's get them out of the box and see what grades I got. Alright, let's go. We are looking at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Caterpie, a number 45 card. Looking at the front surface, you can see it's really clean. There's no bends or creases. Our centering from top to bottom, I think, is okay. Looking from left to right, I think it's towards the right. Looking at our corners and our edges, they're nice and clean with no damage. Flipping the card over, you can see that the surface and graphics are really clean. Our centering from top to bottom, I think, is slightly towards the top, and from left to right, it's towards the right. Looking at our corners and our edges, the only thing I can see is the upper right and the lower left corners both have some slight damage. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. That's pretty darn good. The card is a 1999 Pokemon game-based Charmander, the number 46 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, you can see Charmander's graphics is really clean. There's no bends or creases. Our centering from top to bottom, I think, is slightly towards the top, and from left to right, I think it's slightly towards the right. Our edges and our corners, though, are really nice and clean. Looking to the back of the card, you can see that our surface and graphics are clean and with no creases or grime or dirt or anything like that. Our centering from top to bottom is towards the top, and from left to right is towards the left. Our edges and our corners, I think there's very slight damage on all four corners, but there is some damage down that right side. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8 for Charmander. I like it. Not too bad. We have a 1999 Pokemon game-based Diglett, the number 47 card. Looking at the front of this card, the surface looks really good. I don't see dirt or damage or creases. The big thing that stands out is our centering. It's definitely towards the left and towards the top. Our edges and our corners look really clean. As we flip this card over, you can see that the centering problem continues on the back, that it's towards the top and towards the right. Our graphics, though, and our surface look really clean. No problems there. Our edges and our corners, we have some damage on the upper right and lower right corner and some slight damage down that right edge. And with all that, we're going to get a grade of near mint 8. That's not too bad, though. Let us check out a 1999 Pokemon game-based Drowzee, the number 49 card. Looking at the front of this card, it looks really clean. Drowzee's graphics are nice and crisp. Our centering from top to bottom, I think, is slightly towards the bottom, and from left to right is towards the right. Our edges on our corners are nice and clean. Flipping the card over, our centering problems continue. It's towards the left and towards the bottom. Our surface and graphics look really clean. I don't see any bends, grime, or dirt. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think they're pretty clean also. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9. The only issue with this card is the centering. Wow. I am looking at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Gastly, the number 50 card. Looking at the front of this card, it looks really good for being 20 years old. Moreover, I don't see any issues on the front. Our centering from top to bottom is slightly towards the top, and from left to right it's towards the right a little bit. Our edges and our corners look really clean. Flipping it over and looking at the centering, I think it looks pretty good from left to right and top to bottom, probably with intolerance. Looking at our surface and our graphics, I think they look really good. Our edges and our corners, the only thing I can see is there's some slight damage down that right side. Darn it. That's going to give us a grade of mint 9. That's still really good. We're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Koffing, the number 51 card. Looking at the front of this card, the surface looks really clean. There's no bends or creases. Looking at our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think it's slightly towards the top, but probably within tolerance. And our edges and our corners are nice and clean. As I take a look at the back of the card, you can see that our surface and graphics are clean. There's no problems looking at the Pokeball there. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within tolerance. As we look to our corners and our edges, the upper right corner and right edge has some damage, and there might be some slight damage on that lower right corner. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. I'll take it every day. Check out this 1999 Pokemon game-based Machop, the number 52 card. Looking at the front of this card, a quick look shows that our centering is way off to the top and to the left. Our graphics though look really good. Our surface has no damage. Looking at our corners and our edges, the edges look really good, and so do our corner edges, but both upper corners do have some slight bending or marring. Turning the card over and looking at the back, you can see our centering problems continue here, where it's quite a bit towards the top and I think to the right. Looking at our surface though, our graphics look really good. Looking at our edges and our corners, all 4 corners have some slight damage. And we're going to get a grade of near mint 7. That's better than I thought I'd get. It's a 1999 Pokemon game-based Magnemite, the number 53 card. Looking at the front of this card, you can see it's really clean. There's no dirt, damage, grime, or anything like that. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think left to right is good. From top to bottom, it's slightly towards the top. And looking at our corners and our edges, I think they're really nice and clean. Flipping the card over, the surface looks really clean. The graphics look nice. Looking at our centering from top to bottom, it's to the top and slightly towards the right. Looking at our corners and our edges, the upper right corner and upper and the right edges all have some slight damage. And we'll receive a grade of near mint 8. That's pretty good. Let us look at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Metapod, the number 54 card. Looking at the front of this card, I'm centering is what pops off at the first of me. From left to right, I think it's to the left, and from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the bottom. Our surface though looks really clean with no damage. Our edges and our corners are also very clean. Taking a look at the back of the card, the surface and graphics look really good. I don't see any damage. Looking at our centering, from left to right is towards the right, and from top to bottom, I think it's probably within tolerance. Looking at our corners and our edges, the lower right corner and the right edge has some slight damage. That's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. I'm getting some 8s for this old 20-year-old cards. Here is a 1999 Pokemon game-based Onix, the number 56 card. Looking at the front of this card, I think our centering from top to bottom and left to right is all within tolerance. Our corners and our edges look really clean. Our surface, I don't see any dirt or damage or creases or anything like that. I think this is a pretty good card. As we look at the back of the card, you can see that we do have a slight centering problem where it's towards the left and towards the right and towards the bottom. Looking at our surface though, it looks really good. I don't see any issues there. Looking at our edges and our corners, I think there's some slight damage to all 4 corners. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. That's pretty good for a 20-year card. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like, and remember, you got to catch them all. Have an awesome day.